people are coming. Hi, everyone. Hi, Sawyer. Awesome. So cool. It's very weird to be hosting this. Hi, Kelly. And not be talking to anyone. It's a bit weird. I decided that I hate it already. This is my first Instagram live ever and I already hate it. So great. Just gonna give everyone like another minute before we get started. No, I will send you a request, Sawyer, when it's time for you to read, because I can only share with one person at a time. I think this is the way that we do it. Awesome. I'm sure Olivia, I saw on Olivia's stories that she was deciding whether or not, oh, Olivia's here. Hi! I was just going to make fun of you for deciding whether or not to put on makeup for our Instagram live. My sister's here. Very cool. Hi! I was saying before, Kelly, that I don't like the fact that I'm like alone and people aren't like talking to me. It's very weird. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started because why not? Yeah. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm super excited that we're trying this new Renegade remote reading series. So I hope everyone's doing okay. Thank you, Kelly. I know this is my curtain. I don't have anywhere in my apartment that is like video friendly, so I turned my desk around, my writing desk, and this is the only flat space in my living area. I'm Caitlin. I'm on Instagram personally myself as Caitlin Renegade. I'm a freelance writer, a communication specialist, and an author. I live in Brooklyn, and I founded the Renegade reading series in 2011 hi Kelly, to showcase emerging writers in New York City. So a month ago, I expanded the Renegade reading series into the Renegade Coterie, which was supposed to be an in-person events and like writing time focused community in New York City. We're supposed to have write-ins. We were going to go to the New York Public Library and take a tour and kind of get inspiration from the city in person. And that was literally, I think, at our last reading series, I did a launch. So this was supposed to be the first kind of month of the Renegade Coterie being an in-person fun thing. And obviously we're all stuck inside our houses, which is a nightmare for some people. So I was like, I don't want to be shut off in my bedroom from everyone for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to take this online. I'm going to read a dozen articles about how to use Instagram Live, and I'm going to do the Renegade reading series online. I decided 4 days ago to do this, and I learned how to do it. And I think I can do the whole sharing thing. So we have 3 amazing readers tonight. I just want to give a quick shout out to Cafe Con Libros. They are a feminist bookstore and cafe in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, which is right next to my neighborhood, in my old neighborhood. They've been our home for 2 years, and they're very, very small, family-owned bookstore and cafe. Obviously they're struggling right now, like all small businesses. But you can check them out online at cafeconlibrosbk.com. They have online books. They have a book subscription where they'll send you a feminist book every single month. The owner, Kalima, has a podcast. So they have loads of stuff that you can do online with them and support them during this entire time. If you want to read at a future reading series, you can message me on here. If you want to read when we're all back together in the real world, you can check out the link in my bio. It has all the submission information there. So the loose theme tonight, I don't usually do a theme, but Renegades are dark. There's usually a lot of very dark, sad, but funny, but sad poetry, essays, and fiction at the Renegade reading series because we're fake goths. So I made the theme for this month health, happiness, and hope because I feel like that's what we need right now. So I'm going to kick us off with a really short poem, and then I'll introduce and add our first reader to the live stream. So this poem is called Birdsong. My friend and I, a couple of us went to the park a couple days ago, and we were like, trying to maintain our distance and walk around the park, and we were talking about the fact that we felt like we had heard more sirens recently in the neighborhood. I can hear everything on the street. I'm sure we're going to hear someone outside not doing a great job at staying inside on the street during this live stream. And we were talking about how we'd heard all these sirens. And then the next day, the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, which is like one of my favorite places in the world, it's right across the street from my house, shut down for however long. And it's kind of just sad not to be able to go outside and to be hearing all these sirens all the time and not know exactly when we're going to be able to be outdoors in the spring again. So that's what this poem's about. The explanation was literally longer than the poem. Birdsong. I hear sirens more often these days, I think. They cut through the afternoon, echo down the streets, penetrate my closed windows, uninvited, rattling my teeth at times most unexpected, although recently I have come to expect them. Silence is what becomes unsettling, so my ears reach for the sharp sound, cast out feelers to grasp anything that keeps me from feeling alone. The sirens know what they do. They know their calls tempt, know that each time they slice, then fade away, it leaves a gaping absence, and I'm already trained to look for the next thing, to click one more time, to slip into a state where time is nothing, just silence, then pain, then numbness. To feel something, I'd take the pain, so opening the windows, I look down the streets and pause. Listen. Maybe there were sirens more often than there were before, but right now, all I hear is birdsong. All right. So I'm going to add our first reader and not shake this too much. I am summoning you.
Hey! I'm so happy to see you and everyone, I guess. Hello.
It works.
I'm good.
Everyone, I'm very cool and chill about this, and I'm very good at the phone. So tell everyone that this is easy.
Caitlin and I haven't seen each other in like half a year, and we used to see each other like literally daily. So
I love you so much.
Back at you.
So cool. All right. Well, yeah. So the only bad part about this is that the screen will stay split. So I brought a drink. If anyone wants to tell us what you're drinking or eating, I made a mocktail.
Yeah, Sarah, my fiance Sarah and I we're being really good about not drinking, and then the quarantine happened, and now we are drinking again. So
I know it's hard. So I bought this distilled non-alcoholic spirits.
Is it Seedlip?
It is Seedlip.
I have heard really good things.
So it's not whiskey, but it is a beverage. So yeah, it's good. Okay, right. So let's do this thing. I'm gonna read your bio, and then we're gonna listen to you say some words into the camera. Great.
Yay.
So Kelli Trapnell, my dear friend, is a 2018 NYSCA NYFA Fellow in Fiction. She is a regular writer for Frederator Networks and for Albuquerque the Magazine. Her work has appeared in Vice, among other publications, and is forthcoming fall 2020 in an anthology of queer stories called Welcome to Queendom. Follow her on Twitter at Kelli Trapnell.
Yay! Hello, everyone. So a couple disclaimers about my space. Also, I feel like since Caitlin gave us a disclaimer about her space, now I have to do it about mine. I'm reading in front of a plywood letter that I stole for Sarah from the McCarran Art Film Festival. So that's what that is. And they had left it for a long time, so don't worry. And I have a cat that is sometimes curious about technology, so if she shows up, lucky for y'all, and we'll just roll with it. And also, I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I used to live in New York, but now I'm here. And the quarantine, like now, is just kind of like sort of suggested over here. And we live semi on a busy street. So if you hear like motorcycles or big trucks or whatever, that's what's going on. So, okay, now a little bit about what I'm going to read. I am usually like a straight up horror writer. So Caitlin was like, do you want to read for this? This would be great. So I looked long and hard for something that I had that was hopeful and thematically correct. And basically all I have, I usually try to read short stories that are complete for readings, but I don't do that with my short stories. They're usually weird and scary and sad. So, because I am a fake goth, as Caitlin mentioned earlier. But I am writing a novel, and so I'm going to read you guys a little bit of that. Just a bit of backstory before we get into the piece, because you're not going to get it otherwise. This novel is, among other things, about a teenager in Texas that becomes pregnant, and she finds out that she's pregnant with like a monster, not like from the devil a la Rosemary's Baby, but a lot of other things are similar. And she has recently been hunting while sleepwalking in the woods, and this is the first time that she is like embracing that and like consciously deciding to go out into the woods to hunt. So that's what we're doing. Okay. It is very weird to talk to no one. Weird. No. Okay, here we go. As soon as I hit the tree line, I take off running. I can't help it. I know I should be careful with the baby, but my blood pushes me along, pounding at a tempo in my veins like an extra heartbeat, like the beating of wings. The air here feels so much more real in my chest, fuller, greener. It doesn't cut the way the recycled air conditioning of the house and the school do. Just past the first few trees, my sneakers crunch into the familiar mess of dead leaves and trash that covers the ground. The garbage bags I'm wearing seemed like a good idea when I put them on in the kitchen before I left, but now I am a continuous rattle of plastic rushing through the night, a shiny bit of black on black, and everything in the woods knows exactly where I am. I take a misplaced comfort in this knowledge at first, thinking things like, they're more afraid of you than they are of them, and the noise will scare them off, but I'm not particularly sure who or what I think they are. A shiver rocks through my bones and I run faster, pushed now by the fear of reuniting with a place I left behind long ago, the fear that the once familiar will have hardened against me. That and these woods are far different by night. The seemingly playful cackles and chitters of its creatures become malicious in the darkness. The sound of the wind through the pine needles stands my hair on end. I can smell the differences too, my senses heightened by the thing in my belly. There's the musk of the hairs nestled in desiccated leaves, the faint sugary stickiness coming from the new budding night blooms. The luminous purple flowers dot the ground wherever sponged gray mushrooms haven't laced the soil with their fragile veins. As I run, a curious thing happens. Moving deeper into the woods, I start to welcome the danger, how it makes the air taste. Perhaps this is what people mean when they say someone has courage. I dash through the trees with a smile, sucking air through my teeth, greedy for life. Out here, I feel more creature than creation, less human, but also less fragile. I experience every sensation ferociously. The moisture in the air feels like individual droplets bursting against my skin. With every step, I imagine my feet sink into the ground, spraying dirt on the next step. I want to drain the blood from the air. I want my blood to become air. I want to fly. I scream and my voice comes out a hellish screech, and it's beautiful, this monstrous sound I've made. Inside of me, the baby purrs and rumbles, eager to be fed at last. I run until I'm out of breath, until the piles of refuse and moldering leaves give way to a sloped bed of wet, raw soil. I stop. Heat flushes from my chest and throat, through my skin, growing hotter as it spreads across the rest of my body. In a few seconds, I am so hot, my skin feels like an electric burner glowing red. I drop my backpack and throw the net aside, then claw at the bag that covers my shirt. I tear off the plastic with my fingernails and wince. Once the bag is off, my body cools slightly. I hold my fingers up to my face, touch my tongue to the tips of my fingers, not advised currently, don't do that. I taste metal, salt, and copper, my own blood. In the last month, my fingernails have grown longer, more pointed. I sit in the dirt, is cool with moisture, and feels amazing against my skin. I dig my fingers into the ground, feel the worms squirm against my palms, and I smile. Then I realize what is happening, and I leap up to my feet with a shriek of disgust. I shake out my hands. My body jerks at the feeling of unseen insects crawling up and down my arms, marching patterns into the skin on my back, and worming into the roots of my hair at the base of my scalp. My baby in my stomach lurches violently. I have to calm down. I came here for a reason. Dinner. I tried to remember what I can from the hunting videos I watched online. Patience, silence, accuracy, timing, courage, strength. Yes, I can do all of these things, but first I need a place to wait. As I stumble around the clearing in the dark, I wonder how it is that I was able to see so much more clearly earlier, when I was running, when I wasn't thinking. Eventually, I managed to grope my way through the darkness until I find a fallen tree branch to crouch behind and lean against. According to the videos, waiting for prey to flush into the open is the most rigorous part of hunting, and I want to be prepared to wait a long time if I need to. I hunker down behind the branch, take the kitchen knives out of my bag, then out of their Ziploc, and lay them out neatly beside me. And then I wait. A full hour passes, then another. During this time, I see 3 rabbits, 1 badger, and a few crows, but I can't seem to move out from behind my tree branch fast enough to even get close. My stomach growls fiercely, and the baby tosses. Then, as if in answer, I hear a muffled scrabbling, the thump of feathers against something solid coming from behind a nearby bush. Whatever it is, it sounds like it's trapped, which is good. Fear and hope ice through me. My hands shake as I pick up the butcher knife, adjust my grip. I've already thrown my 2 paring knives and missed, lost on the badger and one of the crows from earlier. There's no way I'm going to find them again in the dark. And anyway, if I have to go up against a wild animal in close quarters, I'd much rather have the bigger knife. I get to my feet as quietly as I can, which is still pretty loud, and then crunch my way across the clearing to where the sounds are coming from. I hold the knife tight in my fist, its point downward. Its wooden handle digs into my palm. The sounds of struggle intensify, grow louder until I'm standing before a mass of black leaves hanging from one of the many trees' branches. I raise the knife in my left hand and push back the branch with my right. There, a narrow metal pole is bucking and vibrating, wedged in the narrow space between the trunks of 2 saplings. At the end of the pole, a twisted net of plastic green mesh writhes with life. The net, a trap I must have set sometime before on one of the blackout nights. I move toward the net, picking my way through branches and roots to get closer. As I come near, I see that stuck in the mesh net is a massive thrashing raven. The bird moves in frantic bursts, then falls still from exhaustion, breathing heavily. Its sleek black wings are bent, straining beneath the net. Its feathers and beak and talons stick out of the holes in the net at awkward angles. I reach out to grab the top of the trap, and the raven explodes with movement, a flurry of shadow and screeches. I expect my fingers to tremble, but my hand is steady. When I wrap my fist around the net, the raven glares at me with its oil-slick eyes and shrieks. I've never been this close to a truly wild animal in my life. The net kicks and swings in my grip as the bird jabs and scrapes at me, tries to turn itself over to get a better shot at my bare knuckles with its talons. I take a few deep breaths. The raven's cries are deafening, but I don't let go. I look down at the knife in my hand. It seems like nothing more than a blade of reflected moonlight in the darkness. My mouth starts to water at the sounds of the bird's struggle, and I don't question it. I know what I have to do. I'm sorry, I say. Then, with eyes open, I ram the knife as hard as I can into the strange bulk of the net. I push hard, making sure to follow through. I feel the knife sink through feather, muscle, and bone until it's buried up to the handle, until my closed fist slams into the bird's feathered, twitching body. When I yank the knife back out of the bird, hot blood blooms onto my hand, running in black trickles down the dripping blade, staining my skin the color of crushed berries up to my wrist. I do my best to wipe the blood off of the knife against the bark of the nearest tree. Then I drop the knife, let go of the net, and wipe both my palms off on the legs of my pants. My prey hangs dead in the torn net, spinning a little as the net twists and untwists. The raven's stillness is more sudden, more surprising to me even than the thick gushing blood or the gathering smell of a successful kill. Then something wild unfurls within me. I lunge for the net, rip it down from its trapped pole. Teeth first, I tear into the bird's feathered flesh. The knife lies forgotten on the ground beside me. I bite and swallow the rich meat in my hands. I chew through the bones, smile when my canines sink into softer organs and hot juice spills over my lips, down my throat. As I eat, I feel waves of a fierce comfort course through my body. I finish the bird, all of it, leaving only the feathers, in less time than I would have thought was possible. Then I walk back through the woods the way I came, looking for the widest gap of the ever-lightening sky. I'm numb and tired and filled with a joyous exhaustion. I make plans to hunt again. I can't believe how not weird this whole thing feels now that I've accepted it. Maybe the baby in my belly is part of what makes me special. I feel happy for the first time in a long time, like I'm worth something. By the time I crawl back through the slat in the backyard fence, the sun is almost up, but I don't care. My baby is finally asleep, and I am smiling. That's it.
Yay!
So bloody.
I love when you were like, I think this is hopeful. I was like, I feel like it's hopeful. That's good.
Yeah.
You know, she can hunt now. She got a bird.
You can do anything you put your mind to, including kill and eat a bird.
I was like, Sawyer's like, this is prime dystopian reading material. Like, yes, it is. It is dystopian. Yeah.
So when everyone runs out of food, then, you know, those are some instructions. Don't wear a garbage bag. Set up a net beforehand.
And just tear a raven's head off. It's great. I love it. Oh, I love you, Kelly. You're the best.
Back at you, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there a way for you to log? So this is the hard part. Does it say like bye, Kelly?
I think I can X myself out.
X yourself out.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Bye. Damn, it worked. Okay, let's do this. Awesome. Sawyer's next. Add Sawyer. This is crazy how easy this is.
Oh, is it me?
Yes!
Hi.
Hi. I also haven't seen you in so long. Oh my god. This is so simple. It's almost like they're paying engineers thousands and thousands of dollars to make it this easy. Who knew?
Yeah.
Yay! It's so good to see.
I would settle for $1,000.
You're like, I could take $1,000 from the government right now.
Yeah.
Let's see when that happens. Oh my god, it's so good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I wore a Harry Potter shirt for you.
Did you? I had a Harry Potter shirt on and then I put my cute sweater on, but now I'm sweaty. But I don't have a shirt on underneath, so. And that's not the kind of video. We're just gonna keep our clothes on.
Yeah.
That's cool with everyone. I don't know. I don't know what you like. Okay.
What kind of show did you tune in for, guys?
Awesome. So I'm super excited to hear your stuff. I'll read your little bio. All right, here we go. Sawyer Lovett is a writer who lives in Philadelphia with his wife, a dog, and a hedgehog. And all of those are cute. That's not part of the bio. That's just me adding that.
Thanks, Caitlin.
You're welcome.
Ryan's holding the phone, so.
I was like, is Ryan there? Sawyer's the author of 2 books, and his work has appeared in Apiary, Hoax, and Cleaver. He was a Pitch Wars 2019 mentee, and more of his work can be found at sawyerlovett.net. Yay!
So I feel a little like I'm reading like some silly poetry from scenes, and it's not super literary, but it is pretty hopeful. So
Yay!
You know, yeah. So this is a zine that I wrote as part of like a poetry class that I randomly took. And it's like a queer Snow White poetry zine. And the song is called Dwarf House, because I love queer people. Yeah, so I'm just gonna read. Jeremy's sleeping on the floor in front of Drag Race. Glitter is eating popcorn, heavily invested in who sachets and who shantays. James is making stacks and stacks of pancakes. clouds he can't eat, until he crashes, sleeps for a day, wakes up jonesing. The tall girls are trading titty skittles and clothes, gossip and kisses. I can smell their smoke and perfume as braided as hair and stories. Tariq and William are flirting, building a house of cards, fortifying it with giggles, compliments, sharing earbuds, shy glances through mile-long lashes. Phoenix is on the phone with their next girlfriend, stretching out the eye, and girl, so long it's a manifesto on the binary they reject. The hustlers and Banshee boys are getting ready, packing condoms and cigarettes into their skinniest jeans and tightest t-shirts. The best and worst armor. Mark calls the house phone just to kiki for a while. His stories light a memorial candle for the ghosts that he carries. There's never enough room for all of these bodies, but somehow there's always room for one more. Making space is always worth the discomfort. You give what you have: a shirt, a shower, a couple of bucks, a ride, a referral, a roof. Hope is home enough. Rue is still in the background, and her words are wise despite her controversial status about trans women. Don't sashay away. Shantae here. Shantae safe. Shantae smart. Shantae your fierce heart. Shantae, Shantae, stay. So that's that. And then this is a zine called The Worth of Water. It's a comp zine about self-care that I put together like 6 billion years ago. But this remains like one of my favorite things that I've ever written, and I'm very delighted to be able to share it with you guys. So thanks for listening. I don't remember if I said the title, but it's called You Are Part of My Self-Care. I want to be tough and tender for you. I want to be strong enough to shoulder your burden when it's too much for you alone to bear. And I want to put aside all of the things that prevent me from being vulnerable with you, so that you have access to the realest version of me, the most stripped down me, the barest. I want to give you access to my exposed heart and watch it beat through the places where my skin is worn most thin. I know I can trust you. You who inspire me so much, you punks and queers, you radicals and artists, you beautiful, brave souls, full of coffee and hope and spreading your light to the places that light seldom goes. I want to be home and hearth to you when you've been away in the weary world for too long. The first bite of a steaming meal at a table full of friends when you've been crammed into shops and onto buses for miles and days. When it's hard, when the world is exhausting and stops being rewarding, I want to fill your depleted tank. I want you to know that what you do is so important, that you are so needed and so appreciated, and that no one will begrudge you rest or question your feelings. Everything about you is valid and beautiful. Take a nap, read fiction for fun, enjoy a bubble bath or some time away in the woods. Come back when you can. I'll miss you briefly, but what a sweet reunion we will have when you return. I love you, and I'll be waiting. That's all I've got.
Yay! Thank you, Sawyer.
Thanks, guys.
I'll see you later.
Okay, bye. I don't know how to do anything.
No, I think you just, I don't know. There's an X.
Do I do something?
Oh, wait, I might be able to do it. Now I see a little X. All right, I love you.
Oh, love you too. Bye. Oh, wait, I see that.
Yeah. Oh, I did it. Okay, awesome. And thanks everyone for being here again. Also, by the way, this is the best. And I'll say it again after, but yeah, if you want to read it one in the future, either in person if you're in New York or on Instagram Live, you can just message me on here or check out the link in the Renegade Coteries bio. And there's a link to how to submit to the Renegade reading series from there. So we're going to add our last reader, Olivia. I'm still like in awe of how simple this is. Okay, bam. I know, that was a really good line.
Hello?
Okay. Yay! You're here.
Hey!
I'm so
I'm
excited.
here. Oh my god.
It's
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for reading. So excited. Olivia is amazing. I'm so excited to hear what she has for us. How are you doing? How are you holding up?
I'm doing well. I'm slowly working through the 48 cans of Spindrift seltzer that I've bought. It's just me and my cat here, so true social distancing. Oh, I just got a Tinder match, so who knows what's gonna happen now.
I love all of your like
But no,
dating
I'm
in
great.
time of Follow
Just
Us
trying to do
stuff.
my part, you know?
Just keep up with the dating from afar. You do what you got to do. I feel like yeah, it's a rough time, probably, for dating.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a rough time for
It's
Martin.
super,
Sure.
I'm not even gonna
Martin's in the
try.
other room. Like, what? Yeah, I know. That's why people are like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing now," and I'm like, "Do you just want to wait until this is over?" To be honest, like, I feel like this is rough. This is a rough time. Okay.
It's a rough
Cool.
time. I
I'm
know.
gonna read your bio, and then you can go. Olivia Dolphin
Yeah, you can also
is a
just make it
poet,
up,
right?
whatever.
Oh, Olivia Dolphin has great hair, but don't stare at it too much or touch it. Where was I? Okay, Olivia Dolphin is a poet, writer, and oversharer from Providence, Rhode Island. Her poetry ranges from dealing with current events, the resiliency of landscapes such as the ocean or the desert, and what it's like being a single woman approaching her 30s. She's also the founder and editor-in-chief of Wizards in Space literary magazine, which aims to create safe and inclusive publishing spaces for writers to share their original works and true magic. You can follow her on Twitter and Instagram at LivyDoll or Wizards in Space Mag. Yay!
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, where to even start? So, yeah, I'm here in Providence, Rhode Island. I can see people from like far away or nearby, but I can't see any of you no matter the distance. So that's that. I'm just gonna jump into some poetry, I think. Does that sound good? But I will show off. This is our latest issue of Wizards in Space literary magazine. It's a real book, as you can see. And it has all different it has all different stories in it, poetry, and it deals with like breaking out of cycles and trying to find the hope in sometimes like your negative habits. So this feels kind of apt right now, and finding community even, you know, when things aren't great. So you can get this on our website, and submit to us if there's a lot of writers on. So yeah, that's that. It's our 5th issue, so we're like cooking on those. I know, it's a real book. Okay, I'm gonna read a couple different poems. Some are general like poems about like things I'm inspired by, and then some poems are about my dating life, which is not inspiring, so get ready for that. Okay, this one is called Desert Girl. I'm a desert girl in a coastal realm, living between layers of salt water, with skin that sparkles from bits of seaweed left behind. Raw, not from a dry heat, but from the sun, reflecting off water too still for an ocean always moving. Where are the waves when they do not come? Where do they hibernate and grow and wait to take the shore back to the water piece by piece? Do the waves discuss how smooth they've made the rocks? Beaten them down moment after moment and say, ha, you used to be so rough, so cracked and layered, but look now, you soft thing, so soft that a little girl may pick you up one day and say, Daddy, look at how tiny the smooth rock is. And she'll take you home in a pocket, away from the shore that was once yours, and into a tiny and dark jewelry box, next to broken and once loved things. Look at you now, all soft and forgotten and out of place. Look how the ocean has changed you. That's that one. Great. So this is a love poem. Thanks, Caitlin, and everybody else. This one's a love poem, and I'm working slowly into turning this into a song, actually, which is one of my new projects, which is to take pieces of my poetry and try to put music to them, which is really great. So this one's not titled because I'm too cool for that, I guess. I fell in love the way I always swore I wouldn't, cursing the very nature of love and the way she grasps at your veins, and you're never sure if she's fixing what's wrong with you or playing the strings of your heart like a 5th grader, learning the violin for the very first time. All screams and joy and scratching and wonder and illusion in the way we don't yet know that practice and practice and practice is necessary and strange and hard and full of resistance, yet somehow gets us closer to one goal after another and another until we make up another, always needing something to reach for. Like your thigh in a crowded bar, or secret cigarette kisses behind that telephone pole, or the way you looked when you didn't want to leave my bed that night, and the morning that followed when I felt so sick and you only laughed when I was laughing at myself. And I expected you to fade in the morning light, but you were really there, not some solid illusion the moonlight creates like Beethoven and the way his sonatas became soundless, but the way in the morning I still felt, and I'll keep feeling, everything and anything, scared and confused and too much and not at once, and not enough all at once. It's all in the way we fall to our knees, or in love, or in pain, overwhelmed by the music we make for the first time when we're in 5th grade, where we know if our mouths make this shape, if we move our fingers this way, we can make something beautiful that didn't exist before. That's that.
Yay.
I hope you like it. Okay, this next
I feel like
piece.
this is just me.
Oh, rot. What? I know. Do you feel like you're
But I
like
feel like I'm like an
just
audience of one. I'm just
they're just chatting?
yeah.
Audience of one. It's like a Carly Rae Jepsen song.
Yeah. But everyone's
Okay.
here, and I can
This
see all the
poem
little
moves.
parts.
Everybody's here. It's so fun. Thanks, guys, for listening. This poem moves fast, so hopefully nothing's lagging or whatever, so you can catch everything. I'm gonna do my best. But this piece is something I wrote when I've been frustrated with online dating, because it feels like you have to like kind of like screen yourself and like create a brand for yourself, and like your profile has to be like cool and funny, and but like not too funny, because then people are going to think you're funny all the time, and like I'm not funny all the time. So you know, you have to set the tone for like your whole entire personality, and it's frustrating because that seems impossible. So I wrote this piece: if I could write an honest online dating profile, what would it say? So just buckle up, I guess. Writer, editor, nerd. 3 short words meant to sell myself to you, to someone really, and maybe hopefully to that someone, but I won't let you know I'm looking for that someone because that sounds pretty uncool. Musician, burrito, lover, gamer. I'm not a burrito. I wish I was these days, honestly. Deliver me straight up to someone's door, leave me on the doorstep, and go away. That's how I feel these days. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, sorry. Lover, gamer. Do these bite-sized descriptors make you care? When will you care? I'd like to know in advance so I can protect myself from that month-and-a-half crash that I know is coming, but I got my hopes up that this was different this time anyways. You might feel a little threatened by me, and that's gonna have to be okay, because if there's not a little danger here, I'm going to lose interest, but hold on far too long anyways, because I do that sometimes. Okay, I do that all the time. You should know in advance that I take Twitter pretty seriously, and I still sleep with my childhood stuffed animals on my bed, and they aren't going away, though I'll hide them maybe for the first or second time you come over, if we even make it that far. Do you want to come over? Should you come over? Not now, though. We're quarantined. You should know in advance I'm just getting out of a 5-year relationship, and I'm so used to saying just getting out of, even though it's been 5 years already. He's married someone else now, first, as in before me, but it definitely wasn't a race. It was. Also, he has a dog now, and he never liked dogs before, so I'm not sure what's up with that. You should know in advance that I really like Harry Potter, but not in that cute way where someone just really likes Harry Potter and only has movie merchandise from Hot Topic, and you think it's endearing that they still walk into Hot Topic even if it's just to get Harry Potter merch. No, I mean it in the not cute way. So at least tell me you've seen the movies. I'm always going to want cats, and also maybe not kids, but maybe someday. IDK. I might not tell you that, or maybe I will. TBD, TBH. And if your name is James, I'll have a hard time trusting you. And if your name is Mike, I'll convince myself I should never love you because I have loved far too many Mikes. I feel too much and fear too much, but I'm also fearless. I like to go out for drinks on the first date so I can easily make up an excuse to leave after round 1 if it's not going well. Sometimes, if it's really not going well, I'll flag down the waiter while you're in the bathroom and ask him to leave the check when you get back so I can leave without making a scene. Sometimes, if the date is going well, we can bar hop to 3 different bars, then my car, then your place. Sounds good, right? I'll take signs of an intense connection right away as a good thing, then wonder what went wrong. But nothing went wrong, at least not on my part, and that's what I'll keep telling myself. What's wrong is being afraid to settle while also being afraid we won't find anyone to settle with. Chances are I think I'm too good for you, which is really just a way for me to lie when I'd say it's fine to my friends when you inevitably lose interest. Must like dogs. That's that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Caitlin, you don't have to clap for me. It's fine.
I was.
Okay, I have two more, if that's fine.
Yes.
I have two more. Is that okay? We're doing good. Everybody's still happy. Well,
Do it.
considering the circumstances. Okay,
Yeah.
this piece is called Horoscopes, and it's written in the style of horoscopes, as if you were reading them online or in a newspaper or whatever. And the idea is that the horoscopes are speaking directly to you. And this actually sparked a project that I'm hoping to pick up again, where I will actually write you, Venmo me $1, but for the time being, I'll be donating any proceeds to a charity, which I have not decided. Charities that you love, let me know. But so I'll take $1, Venmo me $1, and I'll write you a horoscope just for you. And it's been a really fun project, but I stopped it recently. But this is kind of what sparked that. So this is a little bit of Olivia Dolphin history for you, but this is called Horoscopes.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, come back. Come back. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Bam.
Are we back?
Added.
Oh, wow.
Woo!
What a ride.
That is a roller coaster of emotion.
I didn't think digital, I don't know. I work for digital and didn't know that this could be so hard. Where did you lose me in the middle of my horoscope poem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I love.
I'll start over if
Do
that's
it.
cool. It's
Yeah,
pretty much
do
my
it.
last one, and then I have a little thing. Okay, are we back? Should I give people? I'll just start again. People can come in. Okay. This is about horoscopes, and it's when they get mean. So that's the TLDR on that. Okay. Hey, you, made of stardust and opals. Sometimes it's okay to admit defeat. Take the time this week to soak yourself in salt and comfort, in rose petals and vanilla. Replace some of the sweetness you may have lost. It's still there, buried a bit more than usual, but still there, and still good. Hey, you, made of rhythm and courage. Lately, life may feel like it's crushing down on you. So why do you do that thing you know you shouldn't? Is it the full moon pull, the way your ambition goes in and out like the tide? Don't drink so much this week. Hey, you, this week may be a rough one, but this retrograde won't last forever. Isn't there work you could be doing? Put down that takeout menu and learn how to cook for yourself. Hey, moonchild, you're a crystal galaxy wrapped in the smoke of sage. Light your incense, but don't be ruled by incentives. Let your rants be worthy and your worth be ranted about. When self-care may start to feel selfish, remember, to refresh your glow is an act of magic, because the world needs your light. Also, sleeping more could do the trick, just saying. Hey, you, the world moves in mysterious and frustrating ways, like puzzles that don't make sense, like you've been handed an unfairness passed down from the stars, like the Milky Way has spoiled and you drank it too fast. But don't blame me, I'm just the messenger. Don't text them again. There's no reason to text your ex. Put down your phone. Okay, precious gemstone, you keep coming here week after week looking for an answer, so here it is. They're never coming back, and it's a good thing. Hey, you, it's been a while. If the stars have been hard on you, I can understand. How do you shake the burden that can sometimes feel like love? How do you shake love that sometimes feels like a burden? How can you find a way to spread your wings and soar despite the soreness in your bones? Surround yourself with people who have proven they care for you, unyielding in their loyalty. Surround yourself in your own scent, and your senses will return.
Yay!
That's it. I can close out with one more,
Do it.
if that's good.
Yeah.
Are you gonna read anything else?
What, tonight?
Yeah.
No.
What happens after I finish this poem?
We go to bed.
A blessing. All I have left is to go to bed. That's the only thing. I wake up in the morning and I look for the time I can go to bed.
I know. I was like, I ate everything I was gonna eat. I'll probably have a tea and a cookie and read my book and go to bed.
That's it. That's it. I'm taking 2 baths so far. This quarantine. No, not today. Just in this quarantine in
I was
general.
like, oh my goodness.
Don't count it out though, Caitlin. Who knows what will happen in the future. Okay, I'm reading a poem that I wrote for the 2nd issue of Wizards in Space Literary Magazine, and it's dedicated to all of you, and I think it's in the spirit of hope and uplifting and realizing that what we need is in ourselves, is within us. So this is a piece called Tug of War. It's from a real book. Look at that. Do you find yourself constantly on the losing end of a tug of war, constantly wrapping rope around your hands, constantly thinking how easy it would be to fall forward, to fall backward, to fall? Yet instead you pull harder. Instead you dig in your heels so hard the mud kicks up the back of your calves, and your fingers turn so red they look like fire, and your knuckles turn so white they look like ash. Because on the other side of the rope that you refuse to let go is the hardest thing to pull from, to fight with, to fight for. Sometimes on the other side of the tug of war is yourself, the hardest person there is to beat. Do you know how incredible you are? Look down at your blood-stained, rope-burned hands. You're a warrior. Keep fighting. You're winning. That's that.
Yay!
Oh, and my cat. Just in time.
None of my cats are in here. They're all outside. I'm surprised they're not scratching. What is Sawyer? Oh, Sawyer, do you mean what are we reading right now? Like, oh, do you know what I'm reading right now? I'm reading this right now.
Wow,
You know,
this is a blessing.
Janae Phillips mentioned this book on Twitter. I'd never read it before, but it's like, kind of like, it's like very old, like 80s wizard. Have you ever read this?
No, but she loves that book.
Yeah, so I've never read it before. I just started it. I'm also reading David Sedaris's new essay book.
Oh, nice.
Which is very good. This mocktail book and writing a novel from start to finish, which is very good.
Oh, wow.
What
about the 5th issue of Wizards in Space? What's going on there?
I don't have mine yet.
Oh, well, guess what? You can order it. And
I did order it.
Why don't you have it?
I don't know.
All right, we'll talk later.
I'll
take this offline.
I'll look in the thing.
As people at my work do when they don't want to talk about something anymore, when there's other people in the room, they'll be like, we'll talk about this offline. Shout out to some of my coworkers. I think they're here.
They're definitely here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's it.
Yeah.
I super appreciate you doing this. I think Wizards in Space is going to host one probably next week or so.
Cool.
So if you got more stuff to read or anybody else that's interested that can't make your next one, send them our way. So.
I will. I think Kelly is also, who read, is gonna also do one as
awesome.
Well. She hosted a really cool reading series when she was in New York, Wildcard, and I think she's gonna try to do it. I know a couple other people have already emailed me being like, how are you gonna do this thing? And like, can you teach me how? And I was like, I don't even know how. Like, I don't know how to do this. I literally read like a dozen articles and then I was like,
let's just try it.
We're gonna do it. Yeah. So it's easy except for when it's not easy and then you just troubleshoot and it starts again. If the youth can do it, I can do it.
Everybody's gonna be fine. That would be my message to everybody.
We're all going to be great.
We're all going to be just fine. So, thank you for everybody for tuning in. I can leave if you want to sign off on your own.
No.
Okay. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here and listening to my
My
poetry.
phone's running out of batteries, that's why.
That's probably why my thing lagged.
Thanks,
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay, I'll bump you off.
I'm leaving.
Remove. Bye. See now, okay, it did it. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks, Sawyer, Kelly, and Olivia so much. You can see my little lamp now. Okay, great. For reading, everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you want to be involved in the next one, just shoot me a message, and we'll have some more remote activities and write-ins and other things as I find the time and energy to do them. And yeah, I love you all. Stay super healthy. Bye.